Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we sift through corporate paperwork so you don't have to. Today we're diving into a report from Quantum Computing Inc. And trust me, the numbers are fuzzier than a quantum state before you measure it. Before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where you can discuss it all. Quantum Computing Inc., or QC, is trying to build the next generation of computers. These aren't your everyday laptops. They're working on quantum computers, reservoir computers, and other fancy machines. It's like trying to build a spaceship. While everyone else is still making cars, a lot of it is still on the drawing board, but it could be the future. This is their financial report for the first 3 months of 2025. Let's jump right to the numbers. QC's got a lot of cash, like a whole lot. At the end of March, they had 166 stuff that can be turned into cash real quick. To get a sense of how they are doing at the end of the last year, 2024, they had a bit less at $78 on $1 million. So they more than doubled their cash pile in just 3 months. Okay, so the cash looks good, but how about the actual business? Well, revenue for the first 3 months of 2025 was just 39,000. That is not a typo, that is thousands. This might sound bad, but compared to the same period last year, where they only made 27,000, it is actually an increase, up 44% according to the report. After deducting the cost of goods sold, their gross profit comes to a measly 13,000. The story here is about investing in the future, and boy did they invest. They spent almost $3 million on research and development, equity a bit less than their general and administrative expenses. This includes salaries for the C-suite guys and gals, basically all administrative stuff that doesn't bring money directly. They spent over $4.6 million. When it is all said and done, they are at a loss from operations of almost $8.3 million. Thankfully, the company also made almost $1.7 million, which is mainly from interest earned from their giant pile of cash. They even profited over $23 million from a change in value from their warrant liabilities. And so QC actually has a net profit of $16.9 million. This translates to an earnings per share of 0.113 cents. In English, they made 13 cents for every share of their stock. This is how the money changed hands during the 3 months ending in March. Axe derived ended $10 equity. Then they went on to make 16 million mentioned before. They made almost 10 before the stockholders' equity. Then they went on to make 16 million mentioned before. They made almost $100 million by selling shares. Last year, for comparison, they only had about 68 million in starting equity. They bought a bunch of lab equipment during the first 3 months of 2025, spending a total of $1.7 million. This is up a bit from the same period last year, where they spent $1.6 million. Okay, that's the quick financial snapshot. But there's more to this story. QC is upfront that they haven't made enough money to cover their costs. They're relying on past investments and more investments in the future to keep going. This section breaks out the amount of money spent on specific key factors to the company. It's important to see that the company spent over $3 million on stock-based compensation to employees, over $1.5 million on outside help professional services, and almost $1 million on depreciation. Depreciation is how the company estimates they will lose the value on old things such as equipment. This basically explains that at the end of March, the company has over $165 million in level 1 assets. These are easy to sell because there's a market for them. This describes any lease the company has on property, and as of March 31st, the company spent over $71,000 on paying their leases. Here are some legalese that you probably won't care about. Basically, they mention the previous offering of stocks. Since November of last year, 2024, they were able to issue shares of stock for $50 million. This bit mentions some new accounting rules, but QC doesn't think they'll change anything major. Now, the part that everyone loves, legal trouble. There is a BV advisory vi, QC breach lawsuit. It's a breach of contract lawsuit where the other company believes that QC didn't follow through on their promises. Then there's the BV advisory v, QC appraisal action, where somebody wants more money for shares from a company that QC took over. Finally, there's a class action lawsuit where people are suing QC for not being honest about their business, and a shareholder derivative action, which is basically shareholders suing the company's leaders. It's like everyone wants a piece of the pie. QCI has a deal with Stevens Institute of Technology where they get to use Stevens technology but pay them a cut of the profits, but they haven't made any money off it yet, so there hasn't been any payment. In mid-April of 2025, their CEO announced their retirement to be effective in mid-May Kend. They also got sued on behalf of the company's shareholders due to the previous issues from legal liabilities, but they intend to defend the claims. Now, the company also has to lay down what they think can break the company. It can be impacted by other conflicts and international problems. Trade between countries and tensions can cause huge problems for supply chains that have global connections. And that's the end of the report. So what is our opinion on this company? Kevmiski is in a tough spot. They are losing money on actual business. This is not a cash flow positive company. They're burning cash big time while working on risky tech that might never make any money. On the plus side, they seem to be smart about how they are using money. They have huge amounts in assets that are liquid and safe. This company is still a small startup, and although QC has a very interesting idea, it is very hard to judge when they will, or if they can, actually make profit. That wraps up our analysis of Quantum Computing Inc. TEM's latest filing. Did anything surprise you? Let us know in the comments. If you found this breakdown valuable, be sure to like and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. And don't forget to check out the Discord community linked in the description, where we can discuss QC's prospects and the quantum computing industry in more detail. Thanks for watching.